My wife left me the home for weeks and admitted to cheating on me for 5 years. It was a typical Thursday afternoon when everything changed. I had just come back from work, exhausted and ready to relax at home with my wife, Sarah. But as I entered our front door, I was greeted with an eerie silence that immediately made me uneasy. "Sarah?" I called out, but there was no response. I walked through our living room, the kitchen, and even checked the backyard, but she was nowhere to be found. Panic started to set in as I frantically searched every room in our house, fear gripping my heart as I realized that she was gone. I sat down on the couch, my mind racing with questions. Where could she be? Did something happen to her? And then it hit me, the note on the kitchen counter. With trembling hands, I picked it up and read the words that shattered my world. "I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving for a while to clear my head. I'm sorry, Kropka." Those few sentences were enough to bring tears to my eyes and a lump in my throat. I couldn't believe it. My wife, the love of my life, had left me without any explanation. I tried calling her, but her phone was turned off. I paced around the house, trying to make sense of what was happening. Days turned into weeks, and Sarah still hadn't returned. I was a mess, constantly calling her, begging her to come back and talk to me. But she never answered. And then, finally, after 3 long weeks, she came back. I was waiting for her at the door, ready to embrace her and ask her a million questions. But as soon as I saw her, my heart sank. Her eyes were red and puffy, and her face was filled with guilt and shame. "Sarah, what's going on?" I asked, my voice cracking. She took a deep breath and looked at me, her eyes filled with tears. "I cheated on you, John, for the past 5 years." I felt like the ground had disappeared from beneath my feet. Those words were like a punch in the gut. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My wife, the woman I trusted and loved, had been unfaithful to me for 5 years. "I'm so sorry, John. I never meant to hurt you. I don't know. I was lost and confused. I thought I could keep it a secret and never hurt you, but I was wrong. I can't live with this guilt anymore." "I had to come clean," Sarah sobbed. I was numb. I couldn't even process what she was saying. My mind was in a state of shock, trying to make sense of the situation. I thought back to the past 5 years, trying to find any signs or clues that could have hinted at her infidelity. But there were none. Sarah had been the perfect wife, always loving and caring. How could she hide something like this for so long? "I understand if you want to leave me, John. I deserve it. But please, just hear me out. I need to explain everything to you," Sarah pleaded. I didn't know what to do. My heart was shattered, and my mind was in turmoil. But I couldn't turn her away. I needed to know the truth, no matter how painful it was. We sat down on the couch, and Sarah told me everything. She had met the other man, Jake, at a work conference 5 years ago. They had instantly clicked and started an affair. Sarah said she had tried to end it multiple times, but Jake wouldn't let her go. He threatened to expose their affair and ruin her career if she left him. So, she stayed with him, living a double life, while trying to protect our marriage. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My wife had been living a nightmare for 5 years, and I had no clue. I couldn't even imagine the pain and guilt she must have been carrying all this time. But at the same time, I couldn't forgive her for cheating on me. I asked her to leave, and she did. I was alone once again, with nothing but my thoughts and broken heart. I couldn't eat or sleep. I was consumed by anger, betrayal, and sadness. I wanted to confront Jake, to make him pay for what he had done, but Sarah begged me not to. She said she would handle it, and I trusted her. Days turned into weeks, and Sarah and I didn't speak. I was still trying to come to terms with everything when she finally called me, asking to meet up. I was hesitant, but I couldn't resist the urge to see her and hear what she had to say. We met at a park, the same one where we had our first date. Sarah looked different. Her eyes were no longer filled with guilt and shame, but with determination. I broke things off with Jake. I quit my job and moved to a different city. "I'm starting over, and I want us to start over too, John," Sarah said, her voice full of hope. I didn't know what to say. I was still hurt and angry, But at the same time, I missed her. I missed the happy moments we shared, and I missed the woman I fell in love with. I wanted to forgive her, but I didn't know if I could. We started talking and spending time together, trying to rebuild our relationship. It wasn't easy, and there were many tears and arguments along the way. But slowly, we started to heal. Sarah was determined to make things right, and I could see how much she regretted her actions. One day, after months of working on our relationship, Sarah asked me to marry her again. She said she wanted to start fresh and make new memories, ones that were not tainted by her infidelity. I couldn't say no to her, and we renewed our vows in a small ceremony with just our closest friends and family. It's been a year since Sarah came back and admitted to cheating on me. Our relationship is still a work in progress, but we're both committed to making it work. We go to therapy together, and we communicate more openly now. Sarah has also started her own business, and we moved to a new city, far away from our past. I won't lie and say that I've completely forgiven her, or that I don't think about what happened. It still hurts, and it will probably always be a part of our story. But I've learned to let go of the anger and resentment, and I've learned to trust Sarah again. She's shown me that she's willing to do anything to make our marriage work, and that's all I could ever ask for. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes the people we love hurt us the most. But it's also true that love has the power to heal and overcome even the most difficult of situations. I never thought I would be able to forgive my wife for cheating on me, but here we are, stronger than ever. And for that, I will always be grateful.